As of May 2nd, there are over 1 million confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the United States. Over 64,000 confirmed cases have overwhelmed morgues across the country, and 1/3 of renters couldn't pay rent on April 1st. In short, it's do or die for workers. So I tried to organize during a pandemic, and this is what I learned. Organizing is nothing new to me. In college, I had a short stint as the organizing director for our student government, and while I had way more failures than successes during my time, they were instrumental in getting me to learn the fundamentals. In 2016, when I was still a liberal, I even ran for office in the local Parks and Recreation department. But those times are long gone. Most of my time during the past few years have been spent reading up on theory and working whatever job I could to make a living because I studied history. With everything going on, I knew it was time to get back into the movement. But I needed to start small. I didn't want to jump in blind and get in over my head. I just kind of wanted to plug into an already existing project and get out there and help out. That's when I found We All We Got San Diego. Leftists trying to lure in normies? Take note. This is the best website design I have ever seen. As a member of both the IWW and the DSA, one look at either website is a little intimidating. The DSA website screams obscure political party, and while I love the red and black color scheme of the Wobblies as much as the next socialist, let's be honest, you kinda have to be into that already for the design to work for you. Meanwhile, We All We Got features an accessible green and white palette that eases you in. It's comforting, but it's also not entirely apolitical. The homepage features a land acknowledgement, the intake form asks you for your pronouns, confirms it's a solidarity-based organization, not a charity, and makes clear that they do not work with cops or ICE. The entire thing is meant for people who aren't socialists or even political, and it slowly reels them towards the left. It's genius, and it drops enough breadcrumbs so leftists know they're about to struggle. The only proof I needed to know that it was working is that my non-political parents were the ones who sent me a link to their page. And if it could get them on board, then maybe it was a project worth my time. We All We Got SD, in short, is a solidarity group that does grocery shopping for people in need. Need help buying food and groceries? Hit them up and they'll get you whatever you need directly to your door. Easy. And so I was hooked. So I decided to volunteer with the goal of building working class power. We got the email and decided to head out immediately. So it's currently 1,000,000 degrees out. We're about to go do some organizing. Just waiting for the car to heat up. See how this goes. The email had a list of ingredients from the people who requested aid. We had to buy everything and then deliver them. Basically Postmates, but like charity. All right, that should be it. Now we move on. Phase 2. And it ended up feeling a little too much like Postmates But Charity. So we just finished with the first delivery. It was nice, but that was it. Yeah, it was nice. It just kind of feels like charity, like we're doing like a charity drive. We'll see how delivery 2 goes. When we delivered the goods, it felt great. It made me feel happy that they were so appreciative. Like you could tell the fucking smile on the guy's face. He was just like, he really appreciated it, you know? And that felt really nice. I mean, we were walking up to people, complete strangers, and just the look on their faces, the gratitude exuded from them. The whole thing was incredibly satisfying and wholesome, but it was also short. The reality of organizing during a pandemic is that your solidarity has to be mediated by social distancing. I couldn't even shake hands with people, just exchange a few words, and that was it. When I got back to the car, I looked back at my phone and waited for the next order. By the end of the day, I went home feeling good, but underwhelmed. I couldn't shake off the nagging feeling that I didn't feel the solidarity. I didn't know or interact with anyone else in the organization beyond email or text. and my connection with the people we were helping was limited. We were definitely building up the reputation of we all we got SD, which is 100% necessary for any working class org trying to abolish the status quo, but I was left with an overwhelming feeling of, is this it? I wasn't even sure if the org had any plans for a post-COVID world. The website was filled with breadcrumbs signaling towards a greater purpose, but as someone who wants to build legitimate power in the community, the breadcrumbs just weren't enough. I needed more. I've actually been a member of the DSA and the IWW ever since I moved back to the United States of February of this year. I've been a dues-paying member, but something always came up when there were meetings that would keep me and my partner from going. So as May Day approached, I said, no more. We're going to do this. With stay-at-home orders in place and the economy melting all around us, the need for organizing has never been greater, but so have the obstacles. You can't just meet up with your buddies in your local org to plan a strike. It has to be all Zoom meetings and Slack. And as a new member, the intimidation factor is even higher. Personally, joining an online call with a bunch of people you don't know is way harder than going to a physical meeting. I do not know how you Discord junkies do it. And when you're planning an action, you can't just have a regular rally and risk the lives of people who you're supposedly fighting for. Of course not. You need to respect social distancing. So what's the natural solution here? A car rally. More specifically, a caravan. The idea was we would travel around the city, our cars plastered with banners calling for a rent strike, the immediate release of prisoners and ICE detainees, and a suite of other demands. You see, San Diego has the honor of being a border town with the most populated border crossing in the whole world. This imaginary line enforces a really meaningless division. It doesn't matter what side of the border you're on, we're one people, and none of us can make rent. The action would be a show of force. This is what we can do. A threat for the government and an inspiration for working people. I think that was the idea anyway. So on Friday morning of May 1st, we packed up our things and got going. And it was something spectacular. Yo! This is our sign. We're gonna tape that shit outside of the car.
People starting to move.
All right, awesome. I'm gonna hop back in the car. All right, caravan started. Oh, let's get going. Yeah! We definitely should have gotten gas.
Those Corollas! We out here. We got hella Corollas out here.
That's how you know it's just working class. And I don't know if that's like the reality. Like, I don't know if that's like the reality of living in San Diego. Like, the sheer energy of the moment was breathtaking. It's hard to put into words the feeling of power you feel when you get together to fight the power, when you see people stepping out of stores in their uniforms, shouting in support of the protest. We went from the border all the way across the city, passing all kinds of neighborhoods with people from all walks of life. And aside from the occasional rich asshole and his Lambo, the support from the community was overwhelming. Me, my girlfriend, and our dog Lola blasted Tigres music throughout the city. It really felt like an incredible moment in history. And it left me wanting more. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. Whether our demands will be met, what the final COVID numbers will look like. But I do know that millions of people are out there waiting for a sign that it's time to rise, to fight back. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I know I'll be there fighting. Will you?